Hi, this is Linda with the Life Station Express, the relay station. We bring the news to you. I made some gummy bears the other day and I wanted to share the recipe. Now, I will say the recipe that I used originally, if you saw my Food, Faith, and Friends Facebook page, um, I used Joe and Rachel's recipe from Two Crazy Ketos. If you haven't looked up their Facebook page or their YouTube channel, it's really a good place to go for keto recipes and lots of different encouragement. They've each lost 100 pounds. They've got their body healthier than ever. So that is a two with a K for crazy and a K for keto, two crazy ketos. So I used their recipe for the very first batch that I made. And if you saw that picture of my gummies on the cookie sheet, um, I used their recipe. Now, I've made like 4 or 5 batches since then because I wanted to make them the way I like them. So, even though they were really good, I wanted to just tweak it a little bit. So, I found a couple other recipes also online, and I settled in on something that I think works for me. You can take what I'm showing you and tweak it yourself because that's the fun part of doing these recipes is, making them, have them turn out okay, but then say, hey, I just want to do something a little different. So I wanted to change a little bit of the flavor and a little bit of the texture. So what I did was go from their recipe, which you can find on their website, twocrazyketos.com. You can find the recipe for their gummies. And they live in Florida. So in order to keep their gummies from getting sticky with the humidity that they have down there, they made them a little sturdier, I guess I'll say, a little tougher, more gummy-ish. The recipe that I'm using is more like a Jello jiggler, which is the one you'll probably find all over the internet, which if you go to YouTube and put in, gummies, you'll find that. Now, these are going to be sugar free, of course. They're going to have, I'm going to tell you about different ways you can flavor them and what you can do to make them your own style gummies. So I'm going to turn this back over and pause it for a second and go over to my counter. My counter in my kitchen is about 2.5 feet wide. That's it. So I've got everything kind of laid up there on this counter. Actually, I think I'll have more room to work when we go back to the camper. But anyway, for now, I'm just going to make this little video about making my gummies, which kind of are more like jigglers, but they work just the same. They're just as fun. They're just as cute. So let me put this on pause and I'll get over there and we'll start. Okay, I hope you can see this pretty well. As you can see, I have different molds. I've gone to several places to purchase my molds. I went to the store. I did not purchase them on Amazon. Of course, everything is on Amazon. You can purchase what you want there. If you want the gummy worms molds, you can go on Amazon and get them. And when you purchase those, they come with little like eyedroppers. So you can place the solution in the little spots for the molds really easily. I just use my measuring cup and pour them in, which gets a little messy, but it works. So the molds that I found so far, I've either gone to Hobby Lobby or I've gone to Michael's and gotten them. So I have Easter bunnies that were of course, in season. These are more like a Rolo type shape candy mold. We have stars. I hope you can see that. There we go. We have stars. I'm on the opposite side of the camera, so forgive me. This is my favorite. They are the fish. And they're the same size as like the Swedish fish. And then I have 2 of these, which are like a candy mint disc shape. And then the last one I got was so cute, the dinosaurs. However, I have yet to get one of these top dinosaurs out without breaking his tail off. So these 2 seem to work okay, but I've found the smaller the space in your mold, the more difficult it is to get them out. So even on the star one, see there's some little teeny stars. They don't always pop out without breaking. But the larger spaces Really, the bunnies worked really good. These worked really good. The discs worked really good. So I'm gonna remove the dinosaurs for now. If I need dinosaurs, maybe I'll look for bigger ones. One thing you need to know if you're going to be using the silicone molds is that you have to sit them on something that is solid, because if you put these in your refrigerator, which is where you're going to keep them, let's see, yeah, I'll have them on just on a cooling rack, or you can put them on a cookie sheet. You can't carry them to the refrigerator like this and think you're not going to spill it. It just doesn't work. So these 4 are going to be on here. I'll put these 2 on something else if I need to use them. I might just use those 4. But I have a little pan that's in my toaster oven. I can put one of them on, and a little stone that I can put the other one on. So anyway, those are the molds. Now let me go into explaining some of the flavorings that can be used. Let me slide this a little bit. You can use pretty much anything to flavor your gummies. Some people, I've seen videos where they use the Zip Fizz electrolytes. This is orange, and I've purchased a lot of these because I love electrolytes. Being on keto, you need electrolytes. There's the orange, there's a grape. Zip Fizz has other flavors. I also have Pure Boost electrolytes here. Richard and I use this brand more than any because it has the B12 vitamins. So we both use this for the morning. We'll put this in a drink, like 16 ounces. Of course, I'll put tons of ice too. Use this in your water and you have some energy to go through the day. I love it. Now, I only use one electrolyte mix that has the B12s in it once a day, simply because I might not sleep at night if I put it in too late in the day. Also, so that's the Zip Fizz and the Pure Boost. And this is like a berry flavor. It's called Berry Boost. Also, if you want to use a different type of electrolyte that doesn't have so much of the B's in it, there's the Redmond's Relight, which really is a favorite. Whoops, let's get that in there. Really is a favorite for a lot of people. Sorry. It's called Relight, and this flavor is mixed berry. And then a lot of people also on keto love to use the Element. There we go. This one's strawberry salt. And of course, the electrolytes will always have your minerals and your extra salt, which is what your body will get rid of when you're on keto. So you really do need to replenish. And I've found out that replenishing my electrolytes has been so beneficial. Let me just come back around. There we go. I so found out that replenishing my electrolytes and getting in sodium was so very beneficial to my body. Getting the sodium that we need totally, or me getting what I need, totally stopped heart palpitations that I was getting. So I'm just going to leave you with that. Minerals, the electrolytes, especially on keto, are so very important, not only to help you sleep, where you have the magnesium and the potassium there too, but the sodium. We have to have our fat. We have to have our salt. We were told both of those things were bad. They are not. So, okay, back. All right. So anyway, one way to flavor your gummies is through electrolytes. So these are the ones that I have that I've purchased that we do use. We use all of them at different times of day. I've also purchased the Ultima, there we go, electrolytes. This is the grape. I've also purchased the Everly brand. This is the grape. Guess what my favorite is? And you can use these as well in your gummies to flavor them. They're powders. Also, when a couple of years ago, I was making hardtack candy, which is nothing but pure sugar. Of course, I was using the Lorraine flavorings, and I still have a whole box of them. Now, today, what I'm going to do for our gummies, I'm going to be making watermelon, and I am going to use the Lorraine flavoring. Woohoo. There we go, watermelon. I'm going to use red food coloring just to boost. I was going to use the pink, but I don't think I need the pink. Just going to use the red. You can get all kind of flavors in the Lorraine. I also have cinnamon, and this is an oil. Cinnamon oil. Come on. Well, let's see what I need to practice doing. Okay, that's cinnamon. And I made a batch of the cinnamon, and let me tell you, I can barely eat it. It's so hot in cinnamon. You can get strawberry. I have other, let's see. You can actually have anise oil to make like a licorice type, grape, whatever flavor. They have tons of them. So that's the Lorraine flavorings. You can use those too. I have found that you actually need 2 of them to make your gummies taste flavorful. Now, to get into making the gummies, I think I said everything. Oh, some people use their keto chow. I've seen someone use the raspberry cheesecake keto chow. This is a wonderful meal replacement shake, and we've made ice cream out of this. We've had our shakes out of this. This is 1 serving, comes in a packet, or if you buy the big bag, there's a scoop, and it's a lot less expensive if you buy the big bag, but we haven't decided which flavor we like yet, so I'm still buying the little bags. And this is raspberry cheesecake that I saw somebody making heart gummies, and boy did they look good. So there's something else, another option for flavoring. There's so many options for flavoring. So anyway, you will want to use a sweetener. A lot of people use erythritol, which comes in a lot of different brands. I have this brand. Lakanto is probably the most popular, the one we've seen a lot. They do call it monk fruit, but they use monk fruit as the advertisement gotcha. It really is erythritol with monk fruit added. My favorite sweetener of all, though, is a good old stevia. I've used it for years. So I'll be putting stevia in mine. This is hard trying to do this backwards. Now, what we want to do is, in a bowl or a measuring cup, whatever you're going to have, whatever you're going to be using, you want to put first, and here's my little recipe, and I've compiled this recipe that I'm using. It's a mixture of recipes. I've compiled it together to make what I like to make. So we're going to start with 1/4 cup of water, and then to that we are going to add 2 tablespoons of gelatin. Now, again, you can use beef gelatin or you can use Knox gelatin. And I'm sure we're all familiar with that. The Knox gelatin, that works just as well. I've done that. But if you want to make it a little more nutritious, there are several brands of beef gelatin. This one was on Amazon. So we're going to add to that, let me get a fork to stir it with, the 2 tablespoons of the gelatin. This is kind of cool stuff. I mean, you just kind of sprinkle it in. 1, and 2. Now, while that is sitting there, I'm going to put 3/4 cup of water in my electric tea kettle and let that start boiling. So I put that in. It's 3/4 cups of water that needs to boil. In the meantime, we're going to stir up this gelatin. And it does exactly what it says. It's gelatin and it gels. So there we go. Just gets thick. Okay. See, it's kind of a creamy thickness, but it's very thick. All right. Oh, one thing I did not do. These things are boogers to open. Let's see if I can do it quick. Nope. We're going to pause just for a second. Look, I said these were boogers. These are really, they don't have like a perforation. Oh, really? Well, I spilled that one, didn't I? All right. I also stabbed my finger trying to get that open. Well, guess what? I have a partial over here of, let's see. I have a partial of a watermelon I used at another point. We'll just add that one. And the rest of the one I spilled Good gravy. And the whole one, so that'll be about 2 containers. Now we're going to take our hot water, that was 3/4 of a cup, and just add it to this and then stir. And that will dissolve the gelatin. You know what? We all make mistakes, so I'm just going to leave this in here so you guys can see it. All right, that will dissolve the gelatin. Smells pretty watermelony. And to that, I'm going to add a little bit of, get in there, there we go. Just a little bit of the red food coloring, just to make it a little more watermelony. Just a few drops. See how that, it just all mixes together so nicely. Now, if you really beat it and mix it, I'm going to add stevia next. You will get too many bubbles. 1, 2, and about a half droppers, because, you know, this is going to be a sweet candy. So there we go. Let's see. Put all the water in it, and we get that much. Okay. Now, the trick that is tricky, it's all mixed together. I think I have everything in there, correct? All right, I'm just going to take a little bit of a paper towel and try to get some of these bubbles off, because they will make a white spot on your gummy. I mean, you don't have to get every bubble, but it's nice to get some of them off. Okay, there we go. Now the fun part. Slide this over a little bit. I wanted to say, if you want your gummies to be more gummy-like and less jiggler-like, you can add an extra tablespoon of the beef gelatin, or you can add a tablespoon, you've probably been wondering why that's sitting there. You can add a tablespoon of the acacia gum powder. This worked really well. When I did the first batch I was telling you about, they were much more gummy-like, and I made them with a good bit of acacia powder per the Two Crazy Ketos recipe. So you could put another tablespoon of the gelatin or a tablespoon of that acacia gum, and you know what? Why don't I just do it? We'll see if they get a little more. It just makes them a little more firm, so they're not so jiggler, jello-ish. Let's just try that. And again, that's going to react like the other gelatin did. It can get clumpy. You've got to just smoosh out the clumps. You see too many. It does go in pretty good. Now, the recipe that I did first, again, he made it on the stove, on a burner. And I'm just using the hot water, which seems to work fine too. So here we go. Let's move this out of the way. And fill, you see those? There we go. Fill these. And I'm going to use this smaller one and just pour some in to make it a little easier. It's still not the easiest thing to do. I'm not the neatest person in the world. Let's pour these in. Whoops, oopsie. See what I mean? There. I'll just slide it over there a little bit. See how the, darn it, see how the bubbles make it white? And it'll stay white. It just, you know. Let's try to make these a little bit neater. So easy to overflow. I think the molds that you get from Amazon that have the eyedropper with them, the little dropper. Of course, is going to be easier. You don't spill so much, I'm sure. But, I already spent money on molds, and I already spent money on flavoring, and I already spent. That acacia gum was a little pricey. That was like $20 for that big bag. And then the gelatin, the beef gelatin's not too bad. Now that is good. If you're going to make it with the beef gelatin, or I guess the regular gelatin, the Knox, it's good for your hair and your nails. We've always heard that. Oh, that's almost the same color. But see, it's got a little thickness to it already. It's gelling up a little bit already while I'm pouring it. Okay, I've got just a tiny bit left. And you know what? If you have a little left over, you could just, even if you left it in here, you just have a little disc of gel. So I'm just going to put some in my, whatever's left in my other molds. Make a couple out of that. There we go. I'm going to take these and I'll just sit them right. I've got a spot cleared in the refrigerator. That is all you do. Okay, that's all you do. You just put that tray of gummies. Let's see if I can put this here. You just put that tray of, oh, you can't see me, of gummies in the refrigerator. Let's see. Really? There we go. Sorry about that. And they will be done. I would say, since it starts the cooling process as soon as you're just about done pouring, maybe a half an hour to an hour is all they need to sit in there. Then you just pop them out, put them in a baggie or in a quart jar. If you live in a very hot, humid area, you want to put them in the fridge. I've got mine in the fridge just in case because we've got the heat on. It's wintertime. So I would say, depending on the temperature and the humidity in your house, you can just keep them. You could keep them on the counter, but I would just keep an eye on them. If it gets too warm and they look like they're going to get sticky, just put them in the fridge. So I will let me just show you real quick. I have a bag. Of course I have a bag in the fridge because I've been making them. Here's a fishy. See how, aren't they cool? And they're really good. This is a great fishy. So you just put them in a baggie in your refrigerator, and that's how you make the gummies. Now you can call them gummies, you can call them jigglers, it doesn't matter. It's fun. I put this video together really quickly, so excuse my mistakes, dropping the phone, stabbing myself with the knife trying to open those jars. But anyway, it's really fun. My grandsons are going to love, I'm going to see them Wednesday, they're going to love the grape ones, the dinosaur ones. So it's a good way to get your electrolytes. The carbs are basically nil. There might be one carb in a serving, is like one of those baggies would be a serving, and there might be a carb. I mean, these are a great snack that if you just want to get something in between, you just need something sweet, and you can grab one of the bags of the gummies and just sit down with a good book or sit down with a video, and there you go. You've got a little snack. So that is the recipe for today. This is Linda with the Life Station Express, the relay station. We bring the news to you. And that is my quick, impromptu, not much planning done in it at all, video about how to make gummy bears, gummy fruits, gummy fish, gummy snakes, whatever mold you want to get. You can make your gummies. And it's for me, it's a wonderful replacement for the hardtack candy that I was making because I love that. And you can make it in any of these flavors. You can use electrolytes. You can use the Loran flavorings. You can use other flavorings you find at the craft stores, even at Walmart. I found the Loran flavorings and the star molds at Walmart. So these things are around. It's not too hard to find them. You don't have to go online for everything. You don't have to always go to Amazon for everything. But you can just shop locally. Maybe we're so close to Walmart that I just went up there and looked, and there they were. So I hope this is fun for you. It was fun for me. I'm having fun making these. It's my substitution for the hardtack candy. So this is Linda with the Life Station Express, the relay station. That's the news I'm relaying to you today. Thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.